Hey, what's up guys, Jeremy here. In this video, we will learn how to use the approach and retract motion within the curve photo project. Let's get started. Okay, now that we know which strategies to use depending on the type of application we want to tackle, and that we know how to reorient properly our tool with respect to our path, let's talk about the approach and retract motion. By default, RoboDK will create an approach and a retract motion of 100mm normal to the path. So what does that mean? It will take the last point and it will create a line or a point 100mm higher along the normal arrow of the last point. So along the specific orientation of the last point or the first point, depending on is it an approach or is it a retract. So in this case here, if we take a look at this, the approach is 100mm and the retract is 100mm. Perfect. So that's great. I will simply bring the robot back to here. I will right click the robot and say align tool orientation, and I will click teach. I want to make sure to have that like normal, if I can say. Cool. Perfect. So let's see here. You can see that we have, if you click on the drop down menu, we have a whole lot of different options for the approach and retract motion. Instead of showing you that directly here, it would take a bit too long. I created an example directly in the file that you can download called CFP for Curve Photo Project, Approach and Retract Motion, or movement in this case. I need to stop going over this one here, otherwise I'm just gonna close this. Okay, cool. So here we have a bunch of Motoman robots, and we have the different approach and retract motion we can use. So by default, like I said, you have the normal motion, so it will simply be a 100mm normal to the pad that you have. So that's quite basic. I can close that here. Here you have another option. So if you go, another option that is very useful is simply tangent. So that means that you will take the last 2 points that you have and you will simply draw a line along those 2 points and continue that line for a certain amount of, or certain distance. So in this case, 100mm, this is what I chose. So if I go and I simulate 100mm tangent to the path and then 100mm. You can see here we have a slowdown during the path. It's because I'm going to show you in 2 or 3 videos how to manage speeds within the curve photo project. So so that you can see better here, I slowed down the approach and retract motion, and I speeded up the actual path because it's not what we are very interested in, and it's just a straight line. You then have another option, let's say here, called side and tangent. So side here, in fact, it's normal multiplied by tangent, but here we are more interested in just side. So it will literally just create a 90-degree angle for a certain distance. By the way, you can enter negative distance here to change the orientation. So if I go for positive, it will be in this direction. If I go for a negative value, it will go in the other direction. If you see those green tool appearing, it's because your auto update is activated. If you followed the tutorial since the beginning, the first module, you should have here under tool options, cam, you should have this here unchecked. So auto update programs, I would recommend you to do that. In this case here, I didn't do it when I created that, so it's normal that you see the green tools. You can just uncheck that here, and it will help. And you can also select most of them and just select here auto update and remove it. So this way, it will kind of remove the auto update for all of those. I will explain you what this does. But if you're using it in a wrong spot, it can kind of be a bit power hungry on your computer, so you might you might experience a bit of slowdown. So I would recommend you to just kind of uncheck it for the moment. You can then go for something like an arc. So you can create arc. You have 2 different types of arc that you can select. So arc normal or arc, in fact, you are arc normal, arc side, I'm going to show you. You have arc rotation and arc rotation side. By default, the arc normal will simply create an arc with the X and Y, and in fact, in this case, Y and Z, I think, coordinates to create the arc, but the actual orientation of the tool will stay always normal to, or in the same orientation as the last point you had. So it will kind of copy the same orientation as the last point and will simply go up or down using the arc. So here, if you look at the values, you need to give the diameter of the circle. So in this case, we use a 400 millimeter circle, and then you select the angle you want to choose. So it's kind of if you have a pie chart, how much of the pie you would use. So in this case, I'm just using 60 degree. If I was to use 360 degree, I would kind of have a full circle here to follow. That would be weird, but I could do it. You then have arc side. As you can see here, same thing. We keep the same normal, but we are creating an arc to the side. Obviously, if you decide to go with a negative value for the diameter, it will change the direction of your circle. Then you have the arc rotation. So this will kind of just linearly reorient your tool. So if I run this one, arc rot here, reorient your tool following this arc circle, so straight line, and then we reorient as we are going up. So it's always kind of keeping the tool pointing towards the center. Then you can go for something simple as XYZ relative motion. So in this case, I just created 100, 100, 100, and minus 100, minus 100, and 100. This will be with respect to the frame you're using. In this case here, it's pat 7. So if I go and I make this visible here, you will see I have an approach that is minus 100 here. So this direction, minus 100. So in this direction, and plus 100 in this direction. And for this one here, I'm going plus 100, minus 100 along the y-axis, and then again plus 100 along the z-axis. You can then decide to kind of combine more than one. So you're not limited to one approach and retract motion. You can press on the plus or minus button here to add multiple approach and retract motion all together. So it will always start from either the first point of your path going backward, or for the retract, the last point of your path going forward. So it's always, for this one, for the approach, you will kind of run the approach points backwards. So this one first here, and then followed by this one. And for the retract, you will go this one first and followed by this one here. So if we run this one, chain 1, we're just going straight down, followed by an arc, straightforward, arc side, and then to the side. Perfect. And then for the last one, I went a bit crazy. I added like a bunch of those. There's no limit, honestly. I just wanted to show you that you could use a bunch of those. So here I went for like normal, followed by a relative motion, followed by a tangent motion, followed by a relative motion, followed by a tangent motion. And then I went for an arc, just a rotation around the y-axis, normal, and then tangent. And then here I created a main program where you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 9 robots kind of working at the same time. I don't know how many robots you could add in a station like that. I never reached a limit, honestly. At some point, the power of your computer might affect the performance you will see, but here you have kind of a bit of a freedom. Okay, so this video is already a bit long, so I will just come here and show you exactly what another, let's say, one of my favorite approach and retract that I didn't show you. If you click here, you have NTS. So NTS is normal tangent side. I like this one because it helps you create a nice, let's say, 45-degree angle of entry or retract. So by default, it's just adding 100. It's adding 100 millimeter along the side, which is honestly, I don't need this one in this case. Normal is upward, and then tangent is along the path. So let's go for, let's say, 50 and then 50. So this will give me a nice 45-degree angle, and I will add another one here, normal, and let's go just for a 50. That's great. Then I can copy that here and I can paste it here. And I have my normal, my NTS, normal tangent side. In this case, I'm just using normal and tangent, and then up afterwards. So if I click update and simulate, I can go like this here. You can see that the speed of the approach and retract the approach is very quick. We will discuss how to change the speed in video number 8. Sorry, I was looking at my notes. In video number 8 of this module, we'll talk about speed of the operation and then speed of the approach and retract, how you can manage that and rounding. Okay, so that's everything for this video. I hope it was helpful. In the next video, we will attack the program event section. So with the program event, you can activate or deactivate or create an event at some point during the path. So in this case here, I would like to maybe activate my glue dispenser at the beginning of my path and then deactivate it as soon as I'm done here. So instead of having to do that manually, there's a way to just add it automatically in the path so it's done or it's integrated to my program every single time. So I hope to see you there. In any case, have a great day, guys.